morning, everybody. It is, I think, close to 7 o'clock, or around there. And I just felt inspired to just record right now to let you all know that I'm currently doing a 7-day water fast. Well, I might be having some juice when I feel called to, but I've been really feeling called to do more of a detox and get really closer and still and rest my body and have my mind be still to really get closer to my intuition and my higher self and really surrender to where I'm being guided and really focusing just on shedding my ego addictions and I think for me right now that a part of that is, well, one of them with me sharing these videos and challenging myself to continue showing up is this, like, the ego addiction to appearance, right? So it's still like, oh, how my image, how it will look, hence why I'm showing up just really raw right now, first thing in the morning, and also relationships or like dating or anything of that sort. Like, I'm tired of putting my life in the hands of needing to know or have certainty of who I'm gonna end up with, or like just a relationship in general. And so the purpose of me doing this fast right now is to really deepen my connection within and owning my sovereignty and really creating my life from the inside out and really deepening that love within. And so far the cleanse, the fast last night, the first day, I started getting a headache, and then like my mind, it was really interesting to observe how my mind just still wanted to like figure out or make sense or control. And I just like had like a mini like crying fit. It was just like, I'm done giving my power away to just any external thing outside of myself or people or places or whatever. Like, I'm just done, and it just was really beautiful to wake up this morning and I just felt like some anger rising in me, which is beautiful. It's letting me know that I'm like setting my boundaries more and claiming my sovereignty, and I just feel so light and grateful right now. So I'm looking forward to this fast to see what it's going to bring up and how I'm going to grow and grow closer to myself throughout this. So hey everyone, it is day 4 of my fast, and I wanted to let you in right now. Right now I'm feeling I feel anger rising in me, and initially throughout this process I was, thinking while creating this video, oh, well, creating videos when I'm more like centered, right? Just like in that complete centered space. And then as I was like driving right now, I'm about to go take a Bikram hot yoga class to sweat it out, which more details probably in the next video clip in this about just my whole detox, the whole experience. But then I thought, you know what? I want to show all parts of me in this. I want to show the not so pretty parts, the imperfect parts, the human parts, the raw parts, like every part of me. I don't want to show up just once again with this whole image, of being presented. I want you to be in my whole, like the whole real, keeping it real, all parts of me. And so, yeah, I'm feeling pretty heated right now. A lot of heat is rising in me, a lot of anger, and a lot of it, what is rising is I'm just tired of giving my control away or giving my power away once again to just the whole like notion of relationships or like dating or any of that, for me personally right now, it's so important that I claim my sovereignty and not needing any sort of validation or worth from some relationship outside of myself. And I'm just tired of the paradigm where it's like we're conditioned, especially as women, to have to be like just need to have a partner. And in no way I'm saying it's anything towards the relationship. It's just more of, I am tired of my mind getting stuck in like needing to know, and I'm ready to surrender to walking my sovereign path and claiming it. And so a lot of that is the anger which is rising in me, which is allowing me to set firmer boundaries and claim my own sovereignty, like I said, and also to kind of challenge the shame, like not feeling like needing. I think as women, or in general in the whole culture, there's this need, that you need to have a relationship in order to like be okay or to be good enough or whatever. And with the anger that I'm tapping into, it's like shedding that shame of like me claiming my worthiness on my own, that there's nothing wrong with who I am. I'm tired of just getting knocked off my center, but where I abandon myself, and I'm just ready to just rise. And so it was just really important that I show you this clip right now. And we will see what comes up next. I'm about to go and do a hot yoga class right now. I love you all, and talk to you in a bit. Hey y'all, so I just finished the hot yoga class, and I'm feeling pretty good right now. I can't believe that 4 days on this fast and I have energy. But before the yoga class started, I was still dealing with that anger. And what was coming up for me was just like, I'm just done. Like, the anger's fueling me to really step up and like I said, reduce the shame, let go of the shame, and to really just honor all of me and who I am. And I have to admit, throughout the week, with the last clip that I showed you, thoughts were coming up of like, oh my gosh, I'm showing, myself with like, no makeup and my hair all messed up. And typically outside of, in my real life, I go days without makeup or anything. But don't get me wrong, I still love to get cute and dressed up. It's interesting though, once we get behind like a camera or we get exposed like this, where our shadow parts, or like the parts of ourselves, when we're fully seen, all of a sudden we want to cover up, or we want to judge, or we want to make ourselves look better. And so I am just really enjoying this process of just showing you every part of me, like I said. And it's beautiful that the anger that I'm experiencing, it's more of just like stepping more into owning all of me, of who I am, and shedding those layers, just those layers and those fears and those judgments. So I really am digging this. So I love you guys. Until the next clip. Hey everyone. So I'm done with my fast, and I have experienced so much enormous change, even from the previous clips that I showed you of this past week. The detox had an enormous impact on my growth. Not just physically, I feel lighter, I have more energy, my skin's a lot clearer, but mentally and emotionally, it's unbelievable. As I kind of shared with you my two addictions, which were my attachments to relationships
and also to kind of appearance, or yeah, pretty much image, like needing the approval of how I look or how I'm being presented, that attachment. I dug deep. Doing the videos obviously brought up a lot of those fears and about how I was showing up, but each time I really went within and felt the fear deeply and fully, and a lot of my anger kept on coming up around feeling like there's nothing wrong in who I am and how I show up in every way. And a lot of shame was reduced around that, regarding just my body and just who I am in general. And as far as the whole relationship aspect, my anxiety or fear, it definitely came up a lot in the past couple of days. I mean, even just this morning. But there's such a huge shift in me, and like going within and fully feeling it from my heart space, and not giving in to my obsession and really holding space. And it was beautiful to kind of witness the unfolding of the more that I sat with that fear, really sat with it, instead of engaging in the mind and like feeding the thoughts, right? Getting into like trying to make sense or control or try to get answers or checking texts or going to my phone. I really just disconnected from technology and really sat with the anxiety, that's usually underneath that addiction, and it kind of evolved into different things. It evolved into like anger once again, me being pissed that like I don't need a relationship to claim my happiness and my sovereignty and my wholeness and my aloneness, that I'm happy in this moment now, and I don't need, like, not needing to have my mind control about the future of who I'm going to end up with, or needing something, but then it also went through a lot of grief. So I'm still, going through waves of still grieving, but there's a shift where I'm not fusing and attaching to the pain, but I'm allowing myself to feel the fear, and it's dissipating more, which allows me to have more of awareness. I'm breaking this addiction, and it's so the topic of like ego addictions is with the mind. When fear arises within us, we can have an initial resistance to how it feels in our body. And so we can have a reaction to it. And instead of staying in going within and really feeling the feeling, we stay up in our head, and we then become addicted to things externally and kind of disconnect from ourselves, and then we become obsessed, and we need these things in order to feel safe or to feel good enough or secure or whatever, and it just becomes an addiction that keeps us stuck in the past, or our energy stuck in the past or stuck in the future. And that has been a huge shift for me this past week. I can't tell you how huge of a shift. I'm so grateful that I'm in a more aligned space within myself. And the beautiful part about all of this inner work that I've been doing is it's like I'm staying in integrity to myself and who I am, and I can show up from a more conscious place of choosing situations, opportunities, relationships, or people from a place of, not from a place of lack or fear or need, but from a more whole place like within my center. which will allow me to not have to control things. Because when we have addictions, we kind of get into that control pattern. That's what our mind does. Our mind likes to control things. It fears the unknown, and so it needs certainty. And also, when we get stuck in our mind, we really disconnect from who we really are in the present moment. So as you saw in my previous videos, I was really trying to break the habit of not deleting my videos, but really still showing up as I am, because the fears were coming up that who I was, whether I showed up with makeup or not, or whatever I said candid in the moment, the fears arose around like what you all were gonna think. And at the same time, that's kind of me needing approval for being who I am. And that's a fear, like the fear of what you think, the fear of judgment, that kind of leads to like a need of approval. Like, oh, well, in order, like, and then the need to be perfect. Like, in order for me to then get your approval, I have to show up a certain way, looking all perfect, or the perfect angle, or saying the right thing. And that keeps me trapped. That keeps me trapped in suffering. That doesn't allow me to stand like in the center of who I am, or just, yeah, in my sovereignty. And by sovereignty, I mean really in alignment with like my inner center, my intuition, and not influenced by any external factors outside of myself. And me knowing, being connected to this deep knowing that I'm complete and whole within myself, and I don't need anything outside of myself to be who I truly am. And so it's just really beautiful to show up and allow you into my world, because this process has allowed me in a way to continue showing up and dropping the judgments towards myself and loving myself through these videos, because really the things that I feared in the previous videos that you would judge me for is really what I was judging myself for, and that I needed to accept within myself, and all of that. So I really appreciate you all joining me, and something I would just invite you to think about is, you know, where in your life do you feel like you need something in order to feel okay, or like secure, or like, you know, complete? Or where are your addictions, and like where do you get caught up in the story in your mind and disconnect from your body? All right, I absolutely love you all, and I will talk to you later.